The European Championship got underway over the weekend in France. Les Bleus indeed got the first 3 points of the championship against Romania. 2-1 it ended. Arsenal striker Olivier Giroud scored the first goal of the tournament. But what a screamer from West Ham United player Dimitri Payet, which reports linking in with Chelsea Football Club. Will he eventually leave West Ham United? Only time will tell. Luka Modric, Real Madrid midfielder, also lived up to his billing yesterday when he scored a cracker for Croatia in the ongoing Euro 2016 tournament. But back home in Nigeria, our sport was thrown into mourning once again with the death of former Super Eagles coach and technical director Nigeria Football Association Shuaibu Amodu, who passed on over the weekend at the age of 58, and indeed not a good time for Nigerian sports. May the souls of the departed ones continue to rest in perfect peace. On that note, sport fans, I bid you good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting edition of your sports program on TV. It is Christian Sport Edge on Galaxy Television. Miyen Akiri is my name. It's that time once again where we'll thrill, inform and entertain you in the ever exciting world of sports. A lot is happening, but we'll try our best on this emotional moment to indeed crisscross the entire globe and give you the happenings in the world of sports. Indeed, Super Eagles players will be reacting to the death of Amodu Shuaibu and also Stephen Keshi Brown Ideye, all things being equal. Indeed, we will get his reaction. Copa America, Brazil bundled out, and indeed they are crying blue mother. Talking about the Seleção of Brazil, which days to the Rio 2016 Olympic Games in Brazil. However, the Cote d'Ivoire athletes indeed now hold the fastest 100 meters time on the continent of Africa, beating the record set by our own Blessing Ohagbare years back. And indeed we shall be taking a look at all that on the show this afternoon. But then we can confirm the Football Federation here in Nigeria has confirmed that they are owing late Amodu Shuaibu. But the controversy right now is the fact that the Football Federation are saying it is 2 months, but then according to sources from the family, it is between 7-8 months. But that's one controversial angle, but then they've owned up that they are owing Amodu Shuaibu. Also, it's on record that the Nigeria Football Association under Melvin Amajupinik is also owing late Stephen Keshi. We did take a look at all this on the show this afternoon. In the studio with me, I've got Dakmo Shotimino. Dakmo, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
And how did you receive the shock news of Amodu Shuaibu's demise?
It was devastating. You know, the thing swept me off the floor. Because basically, owing Amodu 7 months, unpaid salaries. He was actually put at 800,000 every month, and if you do a computation of that, 7 months, it takes us to 5.6 million. At this point in time, Amodu's children, they need, everything they can actually get from the government, from the Nigerian Football Federation, and all interested, bodies, those who appreciated, what Amodu, did in his lifetime for their schooling. Basically, even on Friday, when Kadiri Khan, got almost $3.5 million, balance from the Federation of International Football Federation for participating at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. The former Secretary General, talking about Musa Amadu, suggested to the President, then Amajupinik, of paying, using that money to pay old, coaches, the likes of Amodu, the likes of Christian Chukwu, John Obu, Godwin Ezine, Keshi, and all of them. And instead of paying, it was thrown and it was sacked. It was, told in clear language used by the President that is either you resign or I sack you. That is middle of the, between the devil and the deep blue sea. And he resigned. And up to now, those coaches are still being owed. When Godwin Williams was giving a tribute to Amodu, he made him mention the fact that he was being owed $28,000 by the Nigeria Football Federation for more than 10 years now. And that thing is been a lot of them, a lot of our top players, died, and the likes of Okparaji, they just did one moldering stuff, sculpture out there in front of National Stadium, and nothing was done to his family. His mother is still crying, blue mother up to tomorrow. So, but another thing concerning Amodu's, Shuaibu's death, other than this, reactions have started coming, and the media, they are doing everything possible to make sure that the federal government, do what they are supposed to do for the family of Amodu, because I know he has 5 children, one just graduated from Igbinedon University, talking about Abdulaziz, 26 years old, but he has the first daughter, Marian, that one is schooling in Canada, and 3 others, there is one, Sophie, there is Nofisat, don't actually know the name of the last son, but 5 of them, they are still, they are still schooling, and Amodu he was actually out to make sure his children are well educated, and he actually gave his word for that. So the federal government, I don't know what they're going to do about that. I don't know what the Nigeria Football Federation will do about that. But during the weekend, Willie died, and the media went to his home to get photographs of his family. There's somebody there, maybe a woman about 60 years plus. He said she's Amodu's elder sister, and she's preventing the media, from getting to the family. I don't know her motive actually, and I said I'm going to follow it up. I'm going to follow that story. I'm going to follow it up. I want to know why she's preventing people from getting to Amodu's family. Is it that she wants to present herself as being the representative?
Is it the mother?
Not the mother. The elder said she's elder sister to Amodu. Amodu does not come into place now. It's the wife and the children. You can prevent Amodu's family now, because you have there's nothing on ground to say this particular woman, should do this, and she's not being friendly about it at all. If men come from the gate, ask the security man to send them out. And this is a public figure. The death of Amodu could be equated with the death of a country's president. But football in Nigeria is the #1 sport. It's the only unifying factor that actually brought Nigeria together. This is a coach that has won the Super Eagles 5 times. That's never been done by anybody. This is the only coach that qualified the Super Eagles for the World Cup twice. He won the bronze in the Nations Cup 3 times. He was the only one that won the Cup Winners' Cup at the club level, while he was coach of BCC Lions. He won the league. He was all over the place, and currently when he told me that, thinking was that the likes of Amodu and Keshi were the ones that would take after him. They would take, but now that link has been broken. That means we have to wait for another 10-20 years to raise coaches in the mode of Amodu and Keshi. And it's very, very sad about that. And we're talking about the death of this man, and somebody out there is blocking the media from getting to the family. If the media should get to the family, take the photograph of the wife, the photograph of the children, then you see positive response. Because I've been there for 2 straight days. I say from morning till evening, every day, right in the home of Amodu. I've not seen prominent people coming to sign the register. Maybe possibly they don't know if she's actually in Lagos or in Edo State, but she's right in Lagos, in Surulere. Adegoke 41, Adegoke off Masha. That's where they're staying.
But you also understand the challenges the wife is going through.
Yes. Very
yes. Of Amodu Shuaibu.
Yes. The situation is calm. It's not that anybody is rolling on the floor. And even right there in Edo State, you can see the photograph of Amodu's corpse. If Amodu's corpse could be taken right when it was being taken into the ambulance and when it was buried, why can't the photograph of the family be taken? They said that right-minded Nigerians could actually move forward and take over from there.
Well, in what seems like a traditional culture in this part of the world, and the Nigerian Football Federation thankfully owed up that staff of the Football Federation are being owed 2 months' salaries, and also Amodu Shuaibu, who indeed died over the weekend. Not only Amodu Shuaibu at this point in time, and according to reports, close friends and family members have urged the leadership of the Nigeria Football Association to clear match bonuses and allowances old Stephen Okechukwu Keshi before his death. Keshi was still owed for the games against Sudan, which was won in Abuja, and the drawn game against the Bafana of South Africa in Uyo. So indeed, they are saying that the Football Federation should indeed pay off. But let's take a look at the tweet of General Secretary, Nigeria Football Association, Mohammed Sanusi, who indeed said every member of Nigeria Football Federation management is being owed salaries for 2 months. The NFF will indeed pay up, and then they confirmed that the NFF will pay all monies due late Amodu to his family. But also, I must say that those who run football in this part of the world would agree or want to admit that Amodu Shuaibu was hypertensive before his demise. He had some challenges, but it was owed this much, in the region of 5 million. But the Football Federation are now saying it is 2 months, and that's different from what the family sources are giving to us.
Obviously, it's a shame that a coach of that magnitude, Amodu Shuaibu, he was a good coach, like my colleague said. When you talk about the first indigenous coach that has qualified Nigeria for the World Cup, is there. I was a young boy growing up in Benue State those days, and he was in Boko. When he demystified the long-held notion that no northern club could win the Challenge Cup, he won it and the league. But for a federation, I used to look at them as honorable people, because we should hold them by their words. But for them not to be going back and forth and admitting wrongs now and saying no, it's a shame, because they don't know. I think they don't place premium on values. If you place premium on values, the last thing you should do is lie brazenly. Because obviously you have children watching, and now if your child lies, will you not tell him why is he lying when you have now become an establishment in lying? This federation came in, there was that expectation that they are going to usher Nigerian football to the next level, but now they are harbingers of failure, anguish and pain, because for them to all this, Amodu was hypertensive. He needed money, but it wasn't part of they were not concerned. They even given all that he needed to operate in that office. That office was more of a figurehead as a technical director, because as a technical director of Nigerian football, he should usher in and articulate a playing pattern and where the program of the national team.
Oversee the under 17, under 20, under 23, and the Super Eagles.
But look at before they start Africa Guardiola left, he was on 5 million naira salary, and Amodu was on 800,000 naira. Who in the pecking of, in the hierarchy of order, Amodu was his boss. But look at the salary. It shows who was the boss. The federations were not interested because they were clueless. This is the federation that cannot lead Nigerian football anywhere. As far as the concern, it has become a poison chalice to the people.
The words of Adams Idrozano, and I never wanted to indeed interfere at this point in time, but let's take a look at those who are paying tribute to late Stephen Okechukwu Keshi and Amodu Shuaibu. Super Eagles striker indeed applies his trade in Greece with Olympiacos Football Club. Is making a return to the national team. He scored in the friendly against Luxembourg. Brown Ideye, former West Bromwich Albion of England striker. Let's get his reaction. When we come back, we'll take a look at Amodu Shuaibu.
I would say that it's really sad, for them to leave us like that. Keshi is a good that I played under. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a pin of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really sad. I guess the outcome 2013 should be a great memory, because that was we have doubts for us, and we won. don't have I'm just sort of bored right now. There's is nothing to to compare with things. You see the person. It's so touching to lose people like this. It's really sad.
Sorry about the poor audio quality, but Brown is talking about late Amodu Shuaibu and Stephen Okechukwu Keshi. Well, he first took charge of the Super Eagles in the year 1994, played for Nigeria Football Association 79 and 90. It's won. Tutored BCC Lions of Boko, now defunct, and then also managed club sides like Orlando Pirates in South Africa, El Kanema Warriors of Maiduguri, not forgetting Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan. Qualified Nigeria for the 2002 edition of the FIFA World Cup alongside late Stephen Okechukwu Keshi and Joe Eriko, who is fondly called Jogo Bonito Exponent. Then they were not allowed to indeed see the promised land. The Nigeria Football Association sacked Amodu Shuaibu, Stephen Okechukwu Keshi and Joe Eriko after they took charge of the national team during the qualifying process towards the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Joe Bonfrey was in charge of the national team. He got sacked, and indeed Nigerians like Amodu Shuaibu, Stephen Okechukwu Keshi and Joe Eriko took charge and qualified Nigeria for the World Cup. 2009, 14th of November 2009 precisely, at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, Kenya. Once again, Amodu Shuaibu qualified Nigeria for the 2010 World Cup. The first time Nigeria, the first time Africa will be hosting the World Cup. Once again, he was denied the opportunity of coaching at the World Cup. And Amodu Shuaibu said Nigeria haven't been fair to him, especially the Football Association. He is a hero, no matter what you think, or in my own opinion. Let's take a look at a hero who indeed is unsung in the stars of the world, who died over the weekend, Amodu Shuaibu. Let's listen to this report. When we come back, we'll take a look at the league in Nigeria, Copa America, and those who are breaking records on the continent as far as athletics is concerned. But this time around, we are doing it in diaspora. This and many more after this performance. Former coach of the Super Eagles and technical director of the Nigeria Football Association, Amodu Shuaibu, was laid to rest on Saturday, June 11, 2016. He was said to have died in his sleep in the early hours of Saturday morning after a complaint of pain. Meanwhile, the death of coach Amodu Shuaibu came less than 4 days after coach Keshi passed on, while family members, friends, politicians, journalists mourned Amodu Shuaibu at his residence in Okpila town. Governor Adam Simole of Edo was not left out. He described his death as a great loss amongst Keshi, who had died 3 days earlier.
Outstanding statesmen who have served the nation this hour of need. If I haven't seen the casket now, it's difficult that Amodu is also gone. Within a week of our other brother, and almost in the same manner. I think like this can be described as a moment to test our faith in God, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to ordinary human. It's even a father to the family, or since the death of our father is now our father. and that way is following here and following the family. Never allow anybody to like anything. It's a great loss to the entire popular community, not only popular community, but to the entire nation.
Because we've been communicating, especially talking about what were the possible causes that she's dead, you know, and we're meant to meet yesterday, and we said, okay, we'll meet over the weekend. I didn't know I was coming for his funeral.
Again, I think we are so much celebrating. That God will be with us, so and the children and the family, God should be there for each of them.
Without doubt, Amodu Shuaibu remains the most successful indigenous coach we had in Nigeria. He's been called to the national team more than 3-4 times. As a player, he played for Niger Tornadoes in those days, and he was like the playmaker for Niger Tornadoes.
Coach will be remembered for qualifying Nigeria for the 2002 World Cup, but was sacked by the Nigeria Football Association (NFA) on Monday, 8th February 2010. Amodu only took charge of the team in April 2001 after Dutchman Joe Bonfrey was sacked in the middle of the country's World Cup qualifying campaign, thereby hiring Amodu, the Keshi and Joe Eriko. On November 14, 2009, Amodu qualified Nigeria for the 10th World Cup in South Africa, beat the Harambee Stars of Kenya 3-2 at the Moi International Sports Complex in Kasarani, Kenya, with Bartholomew Martins scoring goals in that encounter.
It's all a matter of opinion. If you say Nigeria is back on track, I never saw us not being on track right from the war. I've always maintained the fact that it will take the series of games to actualize our dream of being to the World Cup. And we probably raised an unnecessary tension when we drew in Maputo.
It will be recalled late Amodu Shuaibu first took charge of the Eagles in the year 1994 and was also on the bench match against the 3 Lions of England. Amodu was appointed technical director of Nigeria Football Association on the 9th May 2013, a position he held until death. Amodu, who coached the Eagles on 4 different teams, was said to be hypertensive, and according to family sources, he is owed 5 months salary by the Nigeria Football Association until death. Amodu, a 4th coach of the Eagles, former player of Niger Tornadoes between 1999 and 1991. He coached defunct Lions, Boko, Kaname Warriors, Biduguri, Shooting Stars of Ibadan, and Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Amodu, a hero who was denied the dream of a World Cup coaching appearance on occasions for the Nigeria Football Association.
Game, but you can see from an experienced side that has the resilience and the determination to, in spite of going down 1-0 at first half, come back to show the superiority that we have by being so reserved and determined that we have to win. We have said before that nothing can be good except Nigeria is in the World Cup.
June 11th at his hometown in Okpila at for Galaxy, Miyen Akiri reports. His gentle soul continued to rest in perfect peace. Amodu Shuaibu gave so much to the country, Nigeria, and on a realistic note, being played as Nigerians, between Keshi and Amodu Shuaibu, we've lost 2 wonderful personnel would have given so much to Nigerian football. Like you made mention of Chief Adegwege Onigbide, that he expected Stephen Keshi at some point in time in the future,
Yes.
to become the technical director
After
of the Football Federation.
After Amodu, is so sad losing these two great coaches, these two great sons of Nigeria just in a matter of 3 days. What we invested for over 30 years, or combination of about 50 years. When you put the period when Amodu did well, and together with the period when Keshi was actually built, it's about, when you put them together, it's about 50 years in totality. Now we lost these two in 3 days. It's very, very sad. It's very, very
great
sad.
vacuum now, because before we get coaches of their qualities and their exposures and what they stand for, it's going to take us up to the next 20 years.
Well, Keshi probably never knew he was a legend until he died. I'm sure. Probably he knew probably he was not celebrated.
And he knew he was a legend. And during the weekend, I spoke with one, a medical director, and he said when we told him the instances where leading to Keshi's death, he now look without opening Keshi for autopsy. He suspected what they called deep vein thrombosis. Maybe those who are actually conversant with medicine can look into this deeply, because looking at his long journey from California to Nigeria, and a few days when he started having the cramp on his leg and the massaging. He said from that massaging and the pains he had, there was a possibility that he had a blood clot that did not allow his supply to his to his heart, and possibly that must have actually brought the difficulty in breathing, and it's possible you can actually lose your life through that. So for those in the medical field, please check properly for us what is called deep vein thrombosis. From that we'll know where to go from there.
Let them come to the Nigeria Professional Football League and Wiki Tourist Football Club of Bauchi indeed are not just doing tourism, so to say, when they play their opponents. They are indeed on top of the log. They held Aflan to a goalless draw in Owerri. Shooting Stars defeated Kano Pillars by a lone goal. Rivers United defeated NFM. Shooting Stars defeated Enyimba by a lone goal. Rivers United got the better of MFM. It was a massacre. Nasarawa United also pummeled Ifeanyi by FC. Sunshine Stars defeated Lobi Stars. Aflan Wiki Tourist goalless, Pillars 2-all with Warri Wolves. Ikorodu United, Akwa United 1-1, and then that's the first time I'm seeing that was smiling on the show today. El Kanemi Warriors 2-0 against Abia Warriors. Plateau United defeated Rangers International of Enugu 2-0.
I'm amazed that Wiki Tourists, they are not just on tourism like you said, and they are doing well. They are capitalizing and sustaining their presence there. But I'm amazed that Rangers, they expect them to do something to break this over 30 years of not winning any diadem, because if you watch them play, they've got something to prove this season. And the MFM, I think they're being taught a greater lesson. Though they are good, but there's so much youthful exuberance there. And so obviously the league is getting more exciting. And the big guns, week in, week out, they are proving that they are really big guns. And like you said about Ikorodu, I think it's a little bit of a smile on my colleague's face, because they lead that point, even though it's just 1 point, they lead it.
Rangers on the losing end, that were mixed feelings.
Well, not a good one for Rangers. We are taught that by this weekend Rangers will have actually caught up with Wiki. All was before the weekend games. Rangers was standing just in the second position, and with the permutation, we thought that with another 3 points we will have actually caught up with Wiki, but that did not happen. But by and large, there's nothing much to do than to start preparing for the next game, and I'm sure for the next matches for Rangers will definitely record a win to actually solidify their standing on the league table. Then Ikorodu United also, even despite the fact that they're going away, I'm sure they are going to pick an away win. If that is done, the issue of relegation will begin to fade away concerning Ikorodu United, because I know they did a number of recruitment during the mid-season, and they had about 9 to 10 new players who are actually doing well. Now, Equilibrians that are playing like a true Premier League, club, no experiments anymore, because they had foundational, problem, allowing the former coach, Edema Benson, to do all the recruitment without any input, even from Lagos State FC. Input from Lagos State FC, were actually rebuffed by Edema Benson, and they're actually paying for it now. But I'm sure with this recruitment at mid-season, things will actually fall into place for Equilibrians.
Let's go to South America. Are you shocked about what is happening to the Celestino of Brazil?
I'm not surprised because Dunga has never really impressed me on the technical and tactical aspect of football. If you watch his teams play, they don't play like the real Brazilian teams that we see. They are more kind of cagey and they are more defensive, and most times he leaves out creative players. So now I wonder why. And this is a team that hasn't won the Olympics in all the history of Brazilian sporting glories. And most times, like that same thing is going to be the team. Say for 1 or 2 players are going to be out of the team, that are over 8 players are going to present there in the next Olympics. And with what has come up now, I think it's going to be really difficult. And come to think of it, the team they defeated there is Haiti, which is one of the backwater's of football teams. So obviously, the Brazilian team has a lot to do to meet up with the potential there.
Over 3 decades, it's been the worst outing for the Celestino of Brazil as far as Copa America is concerned. But then the fans are crying blue against Peru. It ended 1-0 in favor of Peru. But then the Celestino are out of the tournament. Let's bring you the highlight. When we come back, indeed we'll take a look at the European Championships in France. It's Sports Edge on Galaxy Television. In Brazil today, they are all screaming blue murder, daylight robbery. But then, like they say, referees are also human beings. And that's why some would want, technology, to indeed take over all aspects of football, and some have the opinion that it will take away the emotions.
Obviously, like you said, they are humans, but the goal line technology is going to take away some of those things that we see that you say the referee has made mistake. It's also part of the game, because when it favors you, you will be smiling, but when it's against you, there is pain and anguish. But obviously, Brazil never really did themselves good, because from the first match against Ecuador, it was a poor game. If they had won that game, they hadn't won that game, then winning the game against Haiti, all this dramas wouldn't have come up. But so, like we always said, if you work hard, do your homework well, and come out well, you hit it on the nail.
Counting down to the Rio 2016 Olympic Games in Brazil, as we speak, an Ivorian holds the record as far as the fastest woman on the continent of Africa is concerned. This time around, she beats the record set by Blessing of Hagbari at the Glasgow 2014 Commonwealth Games in Florida over the weekend. She ran 10.78 seconds, eclipsing the record of Blessing of Hagbari, which was 10.79 seconds. And at this time around, you have an Ivorian hold on the record, and also Usain Bolt likely to return one of the gold medals from the Olympic Games.
Well, a good one for the Ivorian, but not good news for our own girl, our own queen of the track, Blessing Okagbare, because we're right there in the United States now. She's still putting her ass together to make sure she puts up a very fantastic performance for Nigeria when the action begins at the Rio Olympics. But if you look at it properly, by now the Technical Commission Chairman of the Nigerian Olympic Committee, talking about Honorable Daniel Igali, said by now Nigerian athletes, all the top ones across the world, by now they should be competing in top tournaments across the world. And when the Olympics is in August, by now for June, July, the main thing that should be on the front burner should be competition, not camping per se. So the month of August should just be for them to put all their acts together, check where mistakes have been made, so that you could actually straighten everything before the Olympics in August. But I don't know what is happening concerning Nigerians or other African athletes. They are doing well at the world stage, even in the continental level. But our athletes have been in the doldrum, and I believe if care is not taken, this is going to be, that doldrum situation is going to be replicated at the Rio Olympics, and this is our fears. This is actually, being compounded by the issue of money is not being available for our camping. And when the camping is going to be starting eventually, the Honorable Minister has suggested that everybody, has directed, not they suggested that everybody will be going to Korea to go and do what? What are you going to do in Korea when you are, in wrestling? What are you going to do in Korea when you are in boxing? In football, what are you going to do in Korea? Just like that. And even all the other sports. What's the issue about Korea if you are not playing ping pong? Even table tennis. At the point we had our own, player topping as the world #1 table tennis player, and he plays in Europe. Europeans are taking over they are taking over the platform now. But if you look at it properly, we are also talking about, you also made mention about the issue of Usain Bolt, ready to actually drop his gold medal won at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, from the mistake made by one of his
from the 4x100
Lester Carter. Lester Carter took the first the baton, then he handed over to Michael Frater before giving it to before Frater handed over to Asaf. Then Usain Bolt took the anchor leg for him to actually brace the tape, and they won the gold. But with all that effort, now the gold medal is going to be dropped, just like it was done for Nigeria at the Sydney Olympics. The 4x4, Nigeria was second, but due to drug penalty on the side of the United States, who actually came first before, the gold medal was taken from the United States and given to Nigeria. But incidentally, one of the gold medalists, Sunday Bada, was actually late when that gold medal came, but it's on record that Nigeria will actually pick that gold medal. But very sad for Usain Bolt, but he has actually calculated that by the time he will be retiring, possibly after Rio Olympics, he will have won so number of gold medals. That won't be possible anymore. But the last one, actually coming from Nigeria, from the first vice president of Nigeria Football Federation, Barrister Akinwumi, saying, talking about lesbianism,
killing female football.
I've been in female football before he actually came to the scene, and I know the nitty-gritty. I know what is. You cannot stop.
That will be, a very important issue, because it disrupts the unity in the team. You realize that if some players are not to the team, the ladies don't feel comfortable, and then they also tend not to pass the ball, to people who are not in love with them, so to say, and then that's how it's been killing female football.
I also disagree. One of the facts, he raised that, female football costs more and it is little. Female football doesn't cost very cheap. It's to run, but the fact that you are not paying attention to it does not mean that it costs more. Since close to 20 years now, there's no sponsorship for the female league.
But we'll take a look at that, on the show tomorrow. Let's take a look at the European Championships. Let our fans indeed see some good goals from the tournament in France. Let's start with Turkey, Croatia, Luka Modric with a screamer. Cut to Super Sport. Let's bring you the highlights. Wonderful goal from Luka Modric.
Beautiful. Like he started doing it in his days at Tottenham Hotspur those days, and he's better with Real Madrid now. So I'm not surprised he scored a great goal. Like, it's a good one. They're starting with the 3 points, and so let's see how far they go in the competition.
Northern Ireland made their debut in the European Championships yesterday. Then Poland had the last laugh. Cut to Super Sport. Let's bring you the highlights. The Three Lions of England and Russia. This is because their fans have been involved in so many embarrassing situations out there in France. Let's then bring you pictures of the fights that occurred between fans of the English national team and the Russians. And sadly, a fan in his early 20s died in Nice as far as the European Championships is concerned. But let's bring you the reaction involving fans of England and Russia. Sad incidents, by fans of England and Russia, and then this time around UEFA hoping to come down on these two countries as far as the European Championship is concerned. Well, before we call it a day, let's talk about Ibrahimovic. Where is his next destination? Let's listen to Ibrahimovic.